Welcome back, guys. This is Thunder League Day 16, the second match of the night. So we're about to witness a glorious battle between Dynamite of Poland and Arcade of Russia. Now, fun fact, Arcade is actually the only actual pro team throughout the entire league. Why? Well, because they have a sponsor. You see, and having a sponsor is a definition of being a actual esports team. But looking at the standings, if we can take a look at the standings right now, Arcade Esports had 8 games so far, so this is their last match in the team. In the group stage, and they had 4 wins and 4 losses, standing at 12 points. Is this really a performance that you expect from a sponsored professional esports team? Well, tell me what you guys think about it. I'm just asking a question here, okay? I'm not claiming anything. And now Dynamite. Dynamite, one of the actually one of the youngest teams throughout the entire Thunder League. They had 8 games and they won 6 times, only losing twice. Now, only 3 teams can claim this result so far. That is Think of the EU, Verve of Belarus, and Dynamite of Poland. All of them standing at 18 points and having exactly 6 wins and 2 losses out of 8 games total. So I think this could be a really steep battle for Arcade Esports facing off against Dynamite. And what can I say? It's obviously going to be Poland every time Dynamite gets a pick. And with Arcade, we'll see what. Well, actually, they got a couple of favorite maps, so we'll see how that goes. Anyway, I'm Sean Pops Arcade Gazatil, also known as the guy with whatever too many accolades. And with me here is Mike Goes Boom, the sexiest German you could ever hope to meet.
Oh, that's just too kind. You make me blush. Now, Sean, I just noticed something. Now, you have finally sworn off to bashing Akai Victor after they finally won a game. You did make that promise. Could it be that you're going to bash Arcade now?
I might. Yeah, actually, I might. Well, we should be bashing them. They're the pros, man. I mean, they're the pros. They got a sponsor. They claim to be a professional team. Is this the kind of performance you expect from a professional team? Like every single game, like every other game they win, and every other game they lose. Huh. You know, very, very surprising. Now, look at Dynamite. They're one of the newest teams here. 6 wins and only 2 losses out of 8 games total. So they might be adding another win to their tally. They might be. It's hard because, well, look, Arcade is by no means a rookie team. They're pros. They are pros. But the way they've been performing so far in Thunder League is just, well, it's not what you expect from pros. Seriously.
Now I gotta say, Arcade is going with a classic tactic. So far what we've seen from Arcade is that they are not a team of capping. They are a team of eliminating the enemy, and they're going with a full force of 4 aircraft at the start of the match.
Yeah, but that's the thing. You see, this is Dynamite's home turf. You don't just, kill them as easily there. And they're not inventing, anything new. They're just going with what works. Sending an asset over at Bravo, having strong presence in the town, going mostly for Alpha, and now bringing 3 aircraft to the battle. Actually, only 2 of them carrying bombs and rockets, and then Jimmy Jazz, makes a good pass, takes out Adaman. Adaman's down. Arcade, looks like Arcade's offensive has been blunted in a town. Let's take a look what's going down there below. I'm having a little bit of a camera problem here. Bear with me for a second.
Now, Dynamite is going with a classic tactic. They're going for the A cap and they are going for the B cap. Interestingly, they only sent a single Tiger to the B cap. Arcade didn't send anyone to B. They went with a C rush, which is weird, given that C is kind of the least valuable flag on this map, and only holding C is not going to make you win by points. You have to get at least 2 flags in.
Well, we've seen Dislike pull this move off already, with them going really strong into the town, all in onto Charlie, and then making a strong push over at Alpha, under constant fire from the opposing team's Bravo, still taking Alpha and then holding the town itself. But now, you see, Arcade brought 3 tanks there. That was Nasak, Evrar, and they had Edaman, but Edaman got taken out by Jimmy Jazz there. So, you know, now their offensive has been blunted. They're going to have to wait for reinforcements, because with 2 tanks, it's not as easy to push through the town. Camel and Nervous are perfectly capable of, you know, holding it together. Oh! Red Dragon War. What the hell was that? Red Dragon War just went down.
He tried to kamikaze into Nervous, but since Nervous was just right in between those buildings, it was very hard for him to line his rockets up, and sadly he could not pull up in time. But it seems like Arcade is actually employing a very interesting tactic here. They went with the tanks over to C and are now supporting each other, just holding the C flag. In the meantime, they actually took out the only tank that disliked the Dynamite. Sorry, I was thinking about this. Like, the Dynamite took to the B flag and held them off from capturing that B flag. So far it seems like they are waiting for their aircraft to go back to the airfield, reload, and then start with another wave of rocket runs.
You know, it's a good stage of a tactic, yes, for a while, but check this out. Peekaboo in a Panzer 470 already rolling in hot towards Bravo as we speak, so he's in the bottom right part of the screen right now. And yeah, there he goes. Can they kill another asset coming onto Bravo for Dynamite yet again in such a short span of time? I'm not sure, even though they got total air superiority. They got 3 aircraft intact, and Red Dragon War just recently went down. So Feudal in a G6, Moldcat and much of the same, and finally LA7 also strapped on with bombs. Now, but they're all somewhere around the airfield, either landing or about to land. So there's going to be no air support for Arcade for a little while. And now Peekaboo is going to get over there, start that ticket bleed. Now, what I think Arcade needs is just a single tank to at least oppose Peekaboo somehow, because Peekaboo in that Panzer 470, unless attacked from Arcade's side, is going to be pretty much invulnerable to any kind of fire coming off from the town.
Now, Arcade just spawned into a flying grocery store. But the thing is, if they want to win this game, they have to take out the Peekaboo before he can finish the cap, which is going to be hard, because that thing is not exactly the fastest aircraft around. And I don't think he'll be able to make it to the B flag before Peekaboo can take it. And once he takes it, it doesn't matter if Peekaboo dies or not, because Arcade didn't send anyone to the B flag. So, Arcade's going to be forced to either move out and capture the A flag to stop the ticket bleed, or they're going to slowly but surely run out of tickets here.
Exactly that. Now, we're having another one of those giveaways, guys, and make sure to be logged in at Warthunder.pro with your in-game account and keep the streams tab open. You don't have to watch us there in the streams tab. You can watch us on Twitch at twitch.tv/Warthunder to be able to use the chat. You can pop the chat out and watch us on streams page, whichever, just keep the streams page open at all times. Now, you could be winning one of the following items absolutely for free. Messerschmitt BF 109 E7, M24 Chaffee with APCR rounds, P51A Mustang with Lee Camo, Soviet Captured Panther, T5, unique RBT5 with 250 kilogram rockets, 3 days of premium count research and gain currency boosters, premium aircraft and tank discounts, finding time to leak camos, and Silver Lions. Now, if you buy DuckTech, you're gonna get a 50% increased chance to win, but nothing is guaranteed. You know, you guys have to understand this stuff is all random. But then again, if you own a DuckTech, you get instant access to 4 of the stretch goals that we have unlocked so far, and that is new profile avatars, titles, and decals, unique to DuckTech. Also, unlimited access to tournaments where you're gonna be able to win E100. That's a dreaded German heavy tank. Finally, all DuckTech owners who pick their favorite team after January 6th will get a 100% research booster for entirety of Season 1 playoffs, and the all-new Deathmatch Game Mode tournaments, also unlimited access to that. Whoa, that was quite a mouthful. Sorry there, it took a little while. Now, looks like Dynamite is turning this around, slaughtering the assault force of Arcade. Nasax Mitadi, he's the only guy left there in the town for Arcade, and he's getting... Oh, he's taking it hard in the rear.
Indeed. The suck and the sour cream was back enough against, well, with Futile here. Actually, not Futile. It was with, other MD. Yes, with other MD. They were holding this corner, just touching rears. They were just touching each other. Okay, that sounds a bit weird, but we are speaking about tanks here. Keep your mind out of the gutter, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, they were in a very strong position, but they got overrun by Dynamite. Dynamite went with the full force in, and the air superiority. Whilst Arcade have the air superiority, they didn't quite make it in time to save their teammates, which means now Dynamite's going to go with the triple cap.
It's a triple cap, yeah, and it's going to be bleeding those tickets off Arcade real fast. Now, Arcade mounting a small offensive with 2 vehicles, both T-34s, 85s, Nosok and Ev RMD, previously already slaughtered in the town, and also getting some support from Red Dragon War in SM-79B coming in, but looks like no targets there that he can bomb. Very interesting, but you see, we've only seen one team so far that is capable of beating Dynamite on Poland, and that is Dislike, and they just played. And they played their last match in the group stage. So, yeah, looks like Arcade they're not winning this one. Even though I got to note that Dynamite suffered really heavy losses so far. They only got 3 active vehicles left on the ground against actually 2 tanks of Arcade, but three planes. Oh, scratch that. 2 planes. Feudal in the G6 and Red Dragon or SM-79B. Now that thing can deal some real damage.
Here's the thing, Sean. Arcade is going with the classic tactic of elimination, and it seems like they are playing on the domino effect here. Dynamite is already down 3 players. 2 of the remaining players are also down. Actually, the rest of the remaining players are also down to respawn. Only Nervish can still spawn in 2 times, but it can just very well be that Arcade is trying to eliminate him before the tickets run out. Now, we are 10 minutes into the game, and we still have half points left for Arcade here, so it might very well be that Dynamite is going to die off.
Devil just took a bad hit from Red Dragon's War air bomb, and he's out. I apologize for this.
I gotta say, it's honestly not looking good for Dynamite here. Dynamite now only have 3 tanks left on the ground. Arcade is now taking the A flag. They are finally going with the counterattack, with the rush. Multicat and Red Dragon War in the SM-79B Feudal in the G6 still in the air. Still a massive annoyance here to Dynamite, and it might well be that Arcade is going to turn this around.
Dynamite down to 3 active vehicles. Now, if only Dynamite had an asset, a living asset on Bravo, it would be a whole different affair. But sadly, they don't. So now it's gonna it's gonna go down to a city fight here between whatever's left of Dynamite and the overwhelming presence of Arcade.
What they would really need right now is something to counter the air superiority from Arcade, because having 2 SM-79Bs in the air without any Osman to take them down is just guaranteed death for your team.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect bomb placement on Camel. Camel's Q is down as well.
Camel's no more, only 2. Oh, hey, scratch that. Yeah, 2 active tanks left in the town for Dynamite. Razor and a T-34 85 just next to Alpha and Norvish in the center of the town, about to face off against Dark Jedi.
It's just, honestly, it's impossible for them to win now. That just Norvish gone as well.
That's it. They're getting wiped out. Wow.
Norvish still has 1 respawn, but still, it's too late. There's just no way for 2 tanks to come back from this.
Look, I mean, I've seen Dynamite losing on Poland against Dislike, but not slaughtered to every like last vehicle. And Nervish, the last guy alive, and he just spawned in. This is the last tank that they have.
It definitely seems like Arcade's bashed some heads in the locker room, because they are finally coming back. They're finally playing like they're supposed to be. The only professional sports team in Warthunder, and they are finally shown exactly why they are the only sponsored team. They are completely dominating Dynamite on their home turf, something that never happens.
Yeah, something that, we're not used to be seeing, but what the hell happened throughout the rest of the Thunder League? I mean, why only now? I know it's not going to change anything because it's only a group stage, and, there's still a couple of weeks until the playoffs kick off, but still, just take a look at this performance. 8 games, 4 wins, 4 losses. Dynamite faring much better, standing at 6 wins and 2 losses, which could be 3 losses now if they keep at it in the same fashion. But still, it doesn't look nearly as good as what Dynamite pulled off. And Dynamite, Verf, and Fink, they're the top contenders, just tad bit below Dislike, and Dislike having 9 games and only a single loss. So that's 8 victories.
This is quite interesting. Now, Sean, you're not allowed to bash Akai, but I am. So this is actually interesting. Dislike won every single match but one. Akai lost every single match but one. They're kind of the opposite of the scales here.
So maybe, you know, it's going to be like crossing the streams in Ghostbusters. So if you put Dislike against Akai Victory, the world will explode. So like the best and the worst of Thunder League so far together, that would be...
Actually, we had it, Sean.
We had it.
You were commenting here with me. Dislike versus Akai, the last match on Normandy.
It was glorious. It was glorious. They had their way. I wouldn't say it wasn't very sportsmanship-like, but it was entertaining, to say the least. So if you guys skip that, well, shame on you. It was worth watching, definitely. It was hilarious what they did with the Akai Victory there.
At the end of the match, Akai only had one tank left on the C flag, and Dislike just surrounded the tank and tried to flip it. It was amazing.
They almost flipped it. They actually let that tank kill a couple of their own, and they were not attacking him. They were just ramming the guy.
It was just like bullying. They were just bullies in high school, pretty much.
Yeah, they had like aircraft above them, you know, with smoke out and stuff. Oh, it was nuts. Totally nuts. Now, okay, going back. That's a strong start for Arcade, and what can I say? Dynamite, definitely one of the best teams ever to bless us with their presence on Poland, one of the most popular maps in War Thunder ever, not to mention esports. And now, if they failed so miserably, I'm sorry, Dynamite, but if they failed so miserably on Poland, can they win on any other map against Arcade? Or maybe it was a fluke chance, you know? Was it just... I don't know, a chance occurrence that it happened like this? It's hard to say. What do you think?
I don't know. I honestly am not quite sure what's going to happen so far because, well, we've seen Arcade beat Dynamite on their home flag, and this is bad news for Dynamite. But at the same time, Dynamite is not a bad team. Remember them playing yesterday against GOF. They beat GOF on the Eastern Europe map, which is the home turf of GOF. Okay, given GF had some connection problems. One of the players couldn't connect to the game, and that subsequently turned out to be very bad for them. But still, beating GOF on their home turf is not a small feat.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, well, you're right there. But still, what the hell happened with Arcade throughout this Thunder League? I don't get, seriously. 4 wins, 4 losses, 12 points. Really? So they're actually doing much worse than Dynamite, Verve, and Think. You know, Dynamite being, you know, a much younger team than them, and Verve is a whole different affair. They're the current champions of Thunder Cup, so these guys know what they're doing. Think and Dislike, these guys doing also very, very well, especially Dislike. Not because I enjoy them a lot, but because just look at the stats. 9 games and only a single loss so far.
Okay. The thing about Dislike is, not only are they a very good team, they are an underdog, because nobody was expecting Dislike to perform quite like they did. I mean, we've seen them play in Thunder Cup, if I'm not mistaken, and they were nowhere near as good as they are now. They definitely took this time between Thunder Cup and Thunder League to just completely turn themselves into professional players. I mean, I've never seen somebody play like Dislike does.
No, me neither. And, well, you know, maybe it's all a part of War Thunder character. That, you know, maybe it's all part of the game. You know, this season, this particular team is dominating, and the next season maybe Dislike's gonna suck. You know, how do you know? It's hard to say.
We don't.
I wouldn't be surprised, because these guys, the way they play the game, they're so random and unpredictable. I would not be surprised at all. I am surprised at Arcade's performance, though. I am, to be honest.
I gotta say though, by the way Arcade is playing now, it might be that they tried to pull off Verve and just try to not play too hard in the group stage. Just chill out, relax, see how the water is, and maybe they are going to just completely ruffle stomp everything during the Thunder League. We don't know. We honestly don't know. Because these teams are just completely unpredictable. What Dislike was very strong so far. There's no guarantee that Dislike is going to win Thunder League. Even though they have a massive advantage now. by being in the first place of the group stages, they're essentially going to skip the first 2 or 3 matches, which is going to, well, just put them right near the semi-finals and the finals. But still, it's all open. It's all open. It all depends on which teams they face and how they play against those teams on those certain days.
But at least for this match, oh, it's Berlin. Oh, that's a surprise. Now, Arcade actually play very well in Berlin. Now, that could be a problem for Dynamite. But I think this next particular battle of this match is going to be very decisive for the overall match. You know why? Because a tiebreaker always is Berlin. That's it. You know, that's Berlin. It's always Berlin. So, if Dynamite can't win now, I just don't see him winning this match at all. Now, okay, let's take a look in the skies. Dynamite, Aircraft, Devil, LA7 just ditched his bombs, by the way. Jimmy Jazz, G6, and Nervish, LA7 bombs. Now, on the other side, Arcade, Red Dragon War, G6, Feudal, and Mulcat, much the same, also carrying rockets. Now, Dark Jedi, LA7 just ditched his bombs. Okay, Nervish off Dynamite also ditched his bombs just now. And 3 versus 4. Oh, 4 versus 4. Sorry, scratch that. Thunderovsky in the G6. No rockets, so I didn't even notice him. You know, I'm so used to seeing rockets in the G6 now. So every time I don't see rockets, I just my mind just doesn't register it as an aircraft anymore. Now, okay, what are we having here?
Now, Arcade is using the exact same tactics, at least the exact same lineup as they did on Poland just before. And if it worked on Poland, it's probably going to work here on Berlin as well. But Dynamite did adapt. They saw that they lost the air superiority in the last match, and they're now taking out 4 aircraft to get air superiority themselves. Because that's exactly how you shut down Arcade. If you get to the air superiority, Arcade just can't adapt. They just can't. We've seen this countless times before. Remember that one match between Fink and Arcade, I think it was. Or was it GUF? I think it was GUF versus Arcade.
It was, yeah, it was GUF versus Arcade, I think, yeah.
GUF, a squadron that's primarily focused on tanks. During Thunder Cup, during the first couple of matches of Thunder Cup, they didn't even take out aircraft at all. But in the match against Arcade, they went with 5 aircraft, won the air superiority fight every single time, and just ruffle stomped Arcade.
Yeah. Verve actually also one of the tank heavies, you know, really heavy on them tanks on the ground, but still, you know, they got some really good pilots there as well. Devil catches fire and is going down. Now let's take a look at what's going on in the ground so far. Let's see.
Now,
okay, actually no caps yet. Not a single one. Now, Dynamite about to capture Charlie, about to.
Sure, I think what Dynamite might actually pull this off. Both teams have suffered heavy losses, but Arcade has lost 5, whilst Dynamite has only lost 3, and Dynamite have the air superiority. They still have Nervish in the air. Okay, given. This LA7 with bombs is not exactly going to take out the tank.
And that particular LA7 with bombs got no bombs as of now, so yeah, obviously he's not scoring any hits.
But at least he can still hold back Arcade from spawning into another round of aircraft.
That's true. Yep, that's true. We can mess with those planes there. Now, what is... okay, I see Dynamite capturing Charlie. I see Dynamite moving in to capture Alpha.
But Avradi is there first. Arcade is going to take Alpha. I think Avradi is holding back. It seems like he's waiting for Peekaboo to advance a little bit to get a shot into him.
Yeah, Avradi just rolled out there behind cover. Now, Nosok of Arcade there in the ruins, he's just biding his time. He's not really moving because they're expecting to get counterattack from Dynamite. You see, in Dynamite already pressing their advantage from Charlie, and they're trying to stem the tide of Arcade coming off fresh from spawn. Now in the middle, Dark Jedi about to roll in onto Bravo, opposed by Devil in the T-44. So two 44s there. And the ditch between the Reichstag and what you call this square, by the way? You should know. You're German.
I have no idea. I've never been to Berlin.
Whatever. So the square in front of Reichstag, that one. I'm sorry. I don't know. I apologize.
The Reichstag Quadrat.
Quadrat? Okay. Yeah. That's is good. Yeah. You know, German's such a funny language. I mean, in the good way. It's funny because you know you can say stuff like Sauerkraut. Or like, Bratwurst, You know, and it sounds so aggressive, but actually I just said sauerkraut and bratwurst. Bratwurst is sausage and sauerkraut is just cabbage, you know, so it's like spicy cabbage, whatever you call it. Yeah. Anyway, sorry, a little bit off topic. It's just funny. Now, okay, Ever RMD finally captured Alpha. Devil in the middle, taking over Bravo. Razor and Camille. Now, Charlie, it looks like that counterattack of theirs failed. And now they're just holding off Moltcat, Nosak, and Etaman. And these three guys are kind of indecisive there a little bit. What they're going to go for. Looks like Moltcat and Nosak might be flanking Camel if they can. It's hard to say. Now, Evrar getting some support from Feudal and that Tiger E. He's coming in to help him finish Peekaboo. Now, Peekaboo in a T-44, or what is he? He's hiding. Seriously, look at Peekaboo. What is he doing?
The thing is, so far, Dynamite had the advantage in having less deaths, but they already lost one player. Tunorowski is out. Now, Arcade also lost Dark Jet, but at the same time, Dark Jet isn't the strongest player in Arcade. Actually, I've never seen that guy before, to be honest. No offense, but he's not exactly the most strongest player on Arcade. And Arcade still have plenty of players left, so it's all going to come down to whoever takes out the first player in the next couple of minutes. Because once you lose a couple of players, it's all downhill from there.
Yeah, true. Now, double cap for Dynamite still a double cap. And now Peekaboo's getting some support. Nervish coming in to help him out. Now it's going to be 2-on-2 on Alpha. And Arcade, they just can't afford to lose Alpha because they're already down almost half their tickets. And the triple cap is just going to make it worse. They got to hold it, you know, just at all costs. And looks like they can't afford to send anyone in to Bravo. And even though there's only a single player there from Dynamite, so, you know, not so hard to take over, especially if you send a plane first.
Speaking about affording, it seems like Zerba Claus is going with another round of giveaways. So, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you're logged into Warthunder.pro on the streams page. You don't have to have the stream running, you don't have to have a dog tag. A dog tag is going to increase your chances, but it's still completely random. This is not a guaranteed giveaway, this is basically a lottery. Maybe you're lucky, maybe you get an RBT5 like Sean did, maybe you get a 30% resource point booster like I did. Who knows?
Yeah, well, it depends on your luck, seriously. Yeah, nothing's guaranteed, so it's a gamble, guys. Don't confuse it with gambling like some other people do, okay? So it's a gamble. It means it's a risk. So, you know, and then again, by getting the dog tag, you get instant access, guaranteed. You get instant access to stretch goals. You can take a look at them at Warthunder.pro/n/league. So, okay, or otherwise it's known as the main page, by the way. So just click on main and you'll see it there.
Oh,
okay, looks like Arcade getting slaughtered around Charlie. Devil is actually pressing advantage from Bravo, and everybody's dead on Alpha 2. The Dynamite going for triple cap, and they almost wiped them out.
Sean, see what I told you? In the last 2 minutes were the deciding factor. Arcade completely fell apart, which means they now have little tanks left. I think they only have 3 players left, which means domino effect.
Yep. And already Dynamite's moving in to finish what they just started. That was so quick. While we were talking about rewards, so they all got slaughtered in like within a minute. They lost all their assets, and now they're 3 tanks that are left alive are around their spawn. That's it. You know what? This is very surprising, very unexpected, because Arcade, normally when they ever get to play Berlin, this is where they usually win. And Dynamite, when they play Poland, this is where they usually win. So, yeah, it's nuts. It's nuts. I don't know even what to say. I can't predict anything tonight because it's all so random. It's also crazy, kind of like our giveaways, you know. So, something like this about it. Okay.
Now, Sean, it seems like the chat wants me to do a commentary in German.
Okay.
I can try, but I'm going to warn you. My German is quite rusty. I haven't actually been to Germany in 6 years now.
That'll be pretty cool. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm going to do just a 1-minute clip. So, okay, let's see. How am I going to start? Okay, so Arcade versus gegen Dynamite. Arcade now mit Okay, I'm just confusing everything. God damn it! It's hard
fine.
to switch.
It's fine. You keep talking. You know what? I'm gonna try and back you up there, even though I don't speak German, but I know a lot of words. Okay, I know a lot of words, and I'm gonna do my best to support you there. Let's go, man. Let's go. Let's do this.
So, sehr geehrte Frauen und Herren, willkommen zu der Thunder League.
Ich liebe dich, Sackkraft.
Ja,
no, you gotta be serious. You gotta be serious about this.
Ja. Wir haben viel Sauerkraut gesehen. Sehr, sehr, sehr wichtig. Wenn ihr wenn ihr einen Preis gewinnen wollt, dann müsst ihr Godzilla viel Sauerkraut opfern. Das ist sehr wichtig. Sehr viel Sauerkraut.
Grundwurst, das ist fantastisch, ja. Ist
genau,
wunderbar. Wunderbar.
So, und wenn ihr auch mit den Tanks gewinnen wollt, dann müsst ihr die Tanks mit Bratwurst laden. Bratwurst ist die beste Munition für Tanks. Okay, enough German.
that was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. I understand only select words from that. So, anyway, now we can try Russian if you want.
I can only speak a couple of words like "Na zdrowie, dawaj." Niet. Blah.
Yeah.
And of course some swear words that I'm not supposed to say on stream.
better not. And so for some odd reason, I don't think that our viewers would really enjoy me speaking Russian because of all the negative media, directed at Russia right now and stuff. So people not too hot on Russians.
I know if they want to watch a Russian stream, we have the Russian stream.
Yeah.
We have a Russian stream going on. Right?
We got dedicated Russian streamers. Dedicated Russian streamers simply because they don't speak any other language, maybe, but yeah, whatever. Okay, now back to the fight. So it's 1-1 so far. Dynamite of Poland versus
Arcade from Russia.
Arcade from Russia. Yeah, I'm sorry. I was just reading a message from Skype, so I kind of hung there a little bit. Now, okay. So, first battle of the match, it was Poland, a home turf for Dynamite, and somehow they've lost. Not only they've lost, they actually got wiped out, and which is not as surprising as it might seem, because Arcade they favor wiping out their opponents. Half of their wins that they achieve is by completely eliminating the opposing force. They just kill. They kill. They don't capture. They kill. This is what they're good at. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't, as we seen from their performance in Thunder League so far. And now this particular battle we just saw in Berlin is actually where I'm surprised. Is because Arcade does very well in Berlin most of the time, and out of their 4 wins that they had in Thunder League so far, Berlin was often a decisive map for these guys. And now they got pretty much wiped out. What the hell's going on? I don't get it. Seriously, I just don't. Now, I'm going to try and read what you just Deutsch schreiben kann ich Englischen sehr gut, aber meine Sprache ist eingestellt. Or whatever. Yeah, that's hard. Okay. Hey guys, hey, whoa, hey, take it easy, chat. I know it's a 2-minute delay, so look, stop saying swearing words in Russian. So that 4-letter word is bad. Don't say that. No, don't say it. You're gonna get banned. Seriously, stop saying that. Please.
Well,
don't.
time to get some mutes out.
Yeah, guys, seriously. Yeah, we're gonna have to mute people. Please, no. Don't say that. You see? People getting muted, so it's bad. Don't say it. Please, don't. Okay. Niet giveaway from me. Sorry, Joker. It's random. It's random. There's no way of telling if you're gonna win or not. Sometimes you win, sometimes you don't. Look, I've been at it for like... Alexander? Hey, take it easy. Nobody's racist against Russians. Слушай, я еще по-русски неплохо говорю, и тут у нас нет никаких расистов. Ты расслабься, парень, okay? Все нормально. Okay, now... he should be able to understand that, so he's probably not going to be pissed for me muting him right now. That should put him at ease. Now, okay. What's going on? When's the next battle starting? Okay, next up is...
We have a battle right now.
Kuban. It's Kuban. Yeah, there we go.
Kuban.
Yeah, there we go. I had a little bit of lag there.
Now, interestingly, Dynamite is not taking out too many tanks. Up until now, they only had 5 tanks in. They're not starting to spawn in some more, but it seems like they were waiting to see which kind of tactic Arcade would use. Arcade did change up their tactics a little bit. They still went with a strong aircraft offensive, but it hasn't worked out too well. Arcade has 1 death, Dynamite has 3. So far, both teams each have 1 flag and are currently disputing the A flag. The central flag.
Yeah, it's very true now. Which is not necessarily a smart thing to do on this map. I mean, controlling Bravo and Charlie, this is what you should, what you should be doing. Or especially early on, because on Alpha, if you don't have support from either side, you're just gonna get squashed because there's very little cover there. And now, at the same time, Charlie and Bravo are both, elevated positions with good cover. Well, Charlie is a tad bit below Alpha, but still, lots more cover there than an Alpha. Okay, so Arcade having a really strong presence around Charlie. 2 tanks basically on a Feudal and an Ostwind, just a tad bit behind Charlie. McLaren and the Jumbo directly on top of the flag. Nossock and EverRMD, look, they're hiding under a bridge. What the hell's going on?
They are like trolls.
I know.
Arcade is trolls confirmed.
Because trolls live under bridges, right?
Now, Dynamite have the advantage here. They have both capture points, but at the same time, they have less lives left. They already took 4 deaths. It seems like Arcade is constantly going with the elimination tactic here. Can it work though? Now, Arcade has just spawned in Red Dragon War in SM79B, and Dynamite has nothing to counter that. They have nothing in the air. They have no anti-aircraft vehicles. They have nothing, absolutely nothing, which means that SM79B is going to have a easy time to take some tanks out.
Yeah, he's gonna have a field day, but no, they're not. And actually, well, look, Tanarovsky's in an Ostwind, and Jimmy Jason also in an Ostwind. You think it's gonna be that simple? They just spawned in. Look, spawned in 2 Ostwinds. They really are scared of Red Dragon War with that bomber, because Red Dragon War got to be, I don't know, one of the top 3 pilots of Thunder League. Really, could easily be one of the top 3 pilots of all of War Thunder. Really, he's that good. Seriously, he's that good, and you should have seen him in an Ostwind as well. This guy knows what he's doing. Okay, so Red Dragon War looks like he registered those 2 Ostwinds, and now he's keeping his distance and staying high above, so like about 4 clicks out to his targets. And looks like he's about to get chased by Dark Jedi. Is he?
A Dark Jedi? That's called a Sith.
Okay,
it's Dark Jet. Dark Jet 9.
Dark Jet 911. Yeah, sorry, Dark Jet now. Now Jet's getting chased by this fire there.
Dynamite had the right idea there. They spawned in 2 Ostwinds, but one of them just got taken out by Moldcat. Tanarovsky now the only one still defending the air, and Dynamite still have no aircraft. Red Dragon War is just flying around waiting for his team to take out the last Ostwind, so that he can get in and take them out.
Interesting.
I feel like Dark Jet here is... Oh, Tanarovsky, watch out!
Dark Jet is gonna finish. Is he gonna kill the last Ostwind? Whoa, can he pull out of this one? No. Oh, that's it. He's down. He's down.
But so is the Ostwind. Red Dragon War now is taking this opportunity to dive down. Now, he still has to watch out though. This is realistic mode. If he goes too fast, he's going to break his wings. Which is why he's doing these loop-de-loops to shed some speed, shed some energy, and get lower to the ground. But now he has no opposition. Dynamite have nothing to defend themselves against the SM79B here.
Yeah, it was a very cool play by Arcade. You see, they took out those Ostwinds in proper team play fashion, and now Red Dragon War is going to have a field day. Look at this. It's carpet bombing. It's carpet bomb. Camel's dead. Ay. Good job by Arcade. Good job, Red Dragon War. Now, on the ground, looks like the favorite tactic of Arcade is working. They're slaughtering the opposition, even though they got just 1 point under their control. And now Razor's about to feel the power of the flying grocery store. Yeah, and he does, and he's down. Good drop by Red Dragon War once again. Man, can he kill a third?
This is pure domino effect yet all over again. Dynamite is down 2 players, 3 players. Camel SQ, Jimmy Jazz, and Churosky. 3 of the strongest players of Dynamite are out of this particular battle, which means the rest is just about to go down as well. It seems like Red Dragon does not have any bombs left. Either that or he's just biding his time, but it seems like he's going back for the airfield. So, at least for the next 2 minutes, 2 to 3 minutes, Dynamite has nothing to worry about in terms of aircraft. And look at the tickets. If Dynamite can hold their flags, they might yet win by points. But
hold with what?
That's the problem. Just as I'm saying this, Dark Jet is now on the B flag, so that means Dynamite's not going to win by points anymore. It's over.
It's over. It's over. Yeah, the domino effect that, well, we should call it the Mike effect, you know, because you kind of coined the term there. Anyway, so that this domino effect is in full force, full swing. Only 3 active vehicles left for the Poleaxe, and it's Norvash, Peekaboo, and Razor. 2 44s and a single 34. Not looking good. Already, all points getting decapped. Bravo also almost capped by Dark Jed. I'm sorry, you know, we're calling him Jedi formerly. Want to do it again? Ever RMD about to cap Charlie. I mean, I'm sorry, Alpha. Nobody on Charlie Feudal just left it and with that awesome win. Now, yeah, I just don't see Dynamite winning this one. Seriously. Okay, Norvash and Peekaboo coming in towards Bravo. Dark Jed is going to be hard-pressed to hold it, but he doesn't have to. You see, he doesn't have to. They got so few vehicles left. Basically, it's just 3 tanks against the entire team, and Moldcat's coming in. Coming in, bringing gifts. Oh, Peekaboo's down. No more Peekaboo. Ay, ay, ay. Oh, McLaren, good shot in the rear of Nervish. So, looks like this is it.
It's over. It's over. Dynamite is out. They still have Nervish to spot in, but honestly, there's no point. There's just no point to even spotting in. He can make no difference whatsoever. All he's going to do is delay the inevitable.
Yeah, let's just not. Okay.
And it seems like he did spot thing and did not spawn in, which means it is 2-1 for Arcade versus Dynamite. This is not looking good for Dynamite here.
Yeah, this is kind of curious. I think Dynamite should have picked Poland, you know, and that's what they should have picked, because they stand the best chance there, and Berlin actually they did very well on Berlin, but still this is their home turf, and if anyone can, it's them who can learn from their mistakes on that map. So yeah. Then again, we got what we got. Okay, guys, we're having giveaways regularly. So if you want to participate in the next one, make sure that you're logged in at Warthunder.pro with your War Thunder in-game account. Keep the streams tab open. You can watch us on Twitch. If you want to use the chat, you can pop the chat out. Watch us on Warthunder.pro. Whichever you want is up to you. As long as you keep that streams tab open and you're logged in with your in-game account. Okay, so you could be winning one of the following items, absolutely, for free. BF-109E7U2 M24 Chaffee with APCR rounds, P-51A Mustang with League Camo, Soviet Captured Panther T5, unique RBT-5 with 2 250-kilogram rockets, 3 days of premium account, researching game currency boosters, premium aircraft and tank discounts, unique Thunder League camos, and finally the most valuable gift of all, silver lines.
No. Research point booster is better. That's what
yeah, man. That's what you wanted, right? That's what you wanted. You got to face.
Screw the RBT-5. Finally, I can get some research points.
Who wants that stinking tank with 2 biggest rockets in the game? It sucks, right? Get a research booster. That's the thing you want to have. Because look,
exactly, especially since I already have all the vehicles in the game, so it's it's just XP that I can get for nothing.
Yeah, but look, it's all for your ego, man. You got so much experience, you don't know what to do with it. Now, you got even more, okay? There's no limit to your ego. I mean, seriously, you got to feed that ego, man. So it's perfect. It's perfect. This is what we all need. Hell, if I could get an extra research booster, I'd be happy.
Indeed, now we seem to be taking a 3-minute break as requested by Red Dragon Bar from Arcade. So, let's refill some airtime. Now, Sean, what do you think about these battles so far and what do you expect? Do you think that Dynamite can turn this around or is Arcade going to take this next match?
Interesting. Well, you know, they turned this around on Berlin. And Berlin, you know, one of the favorite maps of Arcade, at least from performance we've seen so far throughout this Thunder League. Everything's possible. Seriously, it's either man's game. Even though Arcade is leading 2-1, you know, it's hard to say. Really hard to say. We're just gonna have to wait and see how that's gonna play out. Okay.
Now, Sean, I gotta say though, I'm just thankful, you know? I'm just thankful to be sitting here and we are 16 days into the Thunder League and this is only still only the group stage. We still have the playoffs coming up, but honestly, it's been an amazing journey so far, don't you think so?
Well, yeah, obviously. And, you know, the amount of support, the amount of attention we're getting from you guys is just absolutely overwhelming. And, you know, this is what keeps us going. Not everyone's nice, sadly, but you can't please everyone. It's impossible. So it's the internet. But still, it's our first humble attempt at proper esports with War Thunder, and I think we're doing great. And it's only the beginning, seriously. This is only like a baby step towards proper esports in War Thunder. So, you know, guys, don't think this is like the goal for us. This is only the beginning. Okay. And
this was kind of a test. Gacha was actually trying to see if this would work, and so far we've been doing actually quite well, which means we might be seeing Season 2.
Oh, we're okay, most certainly we're going to be seeing Season 2. It's just a matter of when, not if. Okay? So tell us, guys, if you're excited for Season 2. Okay? I know it's going to be a... What the hell's going on? Daily Adventures... Somebody's getting banned. Yeah. Oh, somebody's getting banned.
It's not about to chat. I got it, Sean.
That's okay. I'm sorry. That was a double ban there. Gotta hurt. Now, okay, guys. Also, if you own a dog tag, you're increasing your chances marginally by 50% to win in one of the giveaways. But what's best about a dog tag? It gives you instant access to 4 of the stretch goals that we have unlocked so far. And those are new profile avatars, titles, and decals that will make you stand out from the crowd and feel extra special. All dog tag owners will get these no matter when they purchase their dog tags. The title and decal will be added very soon, and the avatar soon going to be following one of the future updates. Now, we already got the skull, so you can use the skull, which is pretty cool. And okay, also, as a dog tag owner, you get unlimited entry ticket to the E100 tournament. Now, not everyone's going to be able to win that E100, but you got to be among the top there. So top players in each tournament, and we're having a series of these guys, we'll be able to win the dreaded E100. Now, what is E100? That's like a proper German mouse tank. If you're a German geek like me, you know, if you play German vehicles as much as I do, you know exactly how good this thing is. You know. It's good, trust me. Now, also, all dog tag owners who pick their favorite team after January 6th will get a 100% research booster for the entirety of Season 1 playoffs. And also, the all-new Deathmatch Game Mode tournaments, where every player fights for himself using tanks and aircraft, where every dog tag owner gets an unlimited exclusive access to. So if you're tired of blaming your team, blaming it all on the non-existent Russian bias, my God, I can go on a length about this one. But anyway, this is the thing for you. It's just you against the world. It's perfect. Free for all. You know, actually, this is the game mode that I've been waiting for so long. And even though, you know, I regularly visit Gaijin's office, you know, I keep begging these guys, like, come on, give us free for all. And finally, they heard us, you know, because I wasn't the only one. Okay. Yeah, it is best of 5. I'm seeing the chat here says. A quick glance, Mike, just a quick glance.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, it seems like we are going to Normandy. Finally, the teams have rated up and we are inbound for the maybe last match of this battle between Dynamite and Arcade. Normandy is a beautiful map, I gotta say. It's actually one of my favorite maps to play in, just because you have such a variety of scenery. You have a beautiful beach where you can just chill out, take your M18, have your crews just chill out and take a bath. You can even drive into the water. You can torpedo some tanks over there. I did actually do some testing once, where we drove a King Tiger into the water and tried to torpedo it, and it worked.
Seriously?
Yep.
So that was an instant kill, right? Against the tank, probably. I mean, if you can sink a ship with a torpedo, that's actually pretty cool. I'm not sure if that's a viable tactic, but it certainly sounds badass.
Actually, you know what? This is actually interesting. The PT-76 is a Soviet tank that swims.
Yeah.
It counts as a boat. You can torpedo that if you hit it.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, I think you can, huh? Well, if you torpedo the King Tiger, you can most certainly torpedo a PT-76. That's actually one of the few floating tanks ever made. And, well, ever mass-produced. Okay, so I stand corrected now. Okay, let's take a look at the vehicle matchup the teams have brought so far. Dynamite, Jimmy Jazz, G6 rockets, Tanarovsky, G6 no rockets, Devil, LA7 bombs. On the other side, Arcade, Red Dragon War, G6, Molcat, G6, both carrying rockets, and Dark Jed, LA7 no rockets. On the ground, Arcade, Feudal, Ostwind, McLaren, Jumbo, Everard, T44, Nosak, much of the same. Dynamite, Camel, T44, Nervish, T44, Peekaboo, T44, and finally Razor in a Jumbo. Well, the air war is taking a while to start. What's going on?
It's the Ostwinds on the ground. It's the Ostwinds on the ground. Okay, do have an Ostwind. Dynamite have no anti-aircraft vehicle, but they do have 2 aircraft in the air. Now, it shouldn't be too hard for Arcade to take them out, but this is a halted battle, and the higher they go, the more advantage the BF-109 starts to get, because here's the difference between the BF-109 and the LA-7. LA-7, Soviet aircraft, good at low altitude. BF-109, German aircraft, good at high altitude. So Dynamite has to watch out here, even though they have more aircraft in the air. Actually, no, it's even up, but still, they have to watch out. Arcade is a very good flyer of aircraft, let's say.
Well, actually, Arcade, you know, the way they play Normandy, nobody quite plays it like they do. I think they're actually better than Dislike on Normandy. So it's a tough battle for Dynamite here. And it's already showing. So they lost 1 vehicle. Arcade, none so far. Now, overall, let's talk tactics. So what are we having? Charlie, firmly in the hold of Dynamite. They're not even putting any assets or flanking because they don't need to. Oh, Red Dragon War, good pass, just took out Nervish. So now it's going to be a little harder to hold Charlie if Arcade decides to attack it, that is. Now, Bravo, Arcade's Feudal in that Ostwind controlling the point. In the middle, what we're having, it looks like Arcade is preparing for an attack, and Dynamite seems to be just content to be holding them back for now. Looks like, you know, they're afraid of a wipeout. That's why they're not. They cannot afford
another wipeout, and they are already down 3 deaths, so they cannot afford to lose any more. And we know how Arcade is. If you let them, they're going to take advantage of that. They're definitely able to take you out. Now, tactics on this map are rather straightforward. Usually the home flags are just held by the respective teams. C is held by Dynamite and B is held by Arcade. What is really interesting is the A flag. Even though we have the town all around with a lot of cover, the A flag itself is kind of exposed, which means it's very hard to get to it. Once you have the A flag, it's actually easy to defend as long as you push back and get into cover. You can easily defend the A flag, but it's harder to get it in the first place.
Yeah, that's very true.
And especially Dynamite cannot afford to lose any tanks. If they go for A right now, they are pretty much guaranteed to lose a tank, which is not what they can afford at all.
Yeah, Arcade's still having the air superiority. 3 aircraft against 1, Devil and LA7, and sadly, no Ostwinds. No Ostwinds. For Dynamite, this could be their doom, actually. In the long run. Not just yet, but in the long run, it could be a big problem. Now, ooh, look at this. Dynamite making a push there. A very cautious one, but they're inching closer to Alpha, seeing that Dynamite got no assets to actually contest Alpha in any way. Tanarovsky, Tiger E moving in. Razor and Jumbo, Jimmy Jazz, Panther F, all moving in towards Alpha. Camel on the edge of the town, and T-44 moving up as well. Nervous staying a bit back, probably to protect Charlie if a push comes to shove, or, you know, just probably staying in reserve.
Oh, but Dynamite is going in for the cap here. They're going for the A cap. Arcade kind of just don't have enough tanks in the city, in the town, to overlook the A cap, which is... Well, okay, we've seen this before. Dynamite goes for the cap, but it's still not over. Because there's still plenty of time left in the game, and so far, Arcade has only had 1 death. Dynamite has had 3, so even though they have the cap, it's still no guarantee that they are going to win. All they have to do now is actually hold the cap and survive. That's the biggest point here. They have to survive.
Yeah, it's really true. What they could do, you know, is cap Alpha, which they already did, and then now roll back. You know, roll back, let Arcade come to them. Would be a sensible thing to do, and looks like this is what they're content. Looks like they're content with, because they're just sitting there. And Razor, you know, in a pretty bad spot there on the square. I'm not sure if he should be staying there. It's wide open.
Well, he is in an M4A3. As long as he can get beyond the wreck of that Panther, as he's doing right now, the turret armor is pretty much impenetrable as long as he angles it right. So he's actually not in a bad position. However, he has to rely on Peekaboo to hold off Ilya McLaren, because as soon as Peekaboo dies, Ilya McLaren is going to get side shots into Razor here.
And look, Ilya McLaren already rolling up the ramp from the beach. And Razor, okay, Razor is turning to meet him. Now, McLaren in a really bad spot, about to get basically surrounded, because if he keeps going forward, he's going to get shot by Razor.
Oh, and he's not seeing Peekaboo coming from behind.
Yeah, Peekaboo's going to get a beat on him.
Bad position by Ilya McLaren here.
Check out Moltcat attacking Camel. Whoa, almost hit him there.
Misses the rockets though. That was not good. That was not good. Yep. Ilya McLaren got taken out. Moltcat missed the rockets, which means Dynamite now has the advantage. They have taken out Ilya McLaren. By the way, there was the second death of Ilya McLaren. Ilya McLaren is out of this game, which means Arcade is down 1 player. It might just be that Dynamite might actually pull this off on Normandy. Which also means that if Dynamite win this match, we are going to get the last match on Berlin.
Well, yeah, entirely possible, actually. Dynamite looking much stronger so far. And both, you know, in terms of positioning and, well, in terms of frags, they're equal. So it's 3 deaths for both teams, but tactically wise, they're in a much better spot at the moment.
Now Arcade is going with the push on the outskirts of the village. In the meantime, we have some air war going on here. We have Dark Jet going off after the LA7, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, Devil. It seems like they are trying to hold off Devil from doing some passes, even though he can't really do anything.
Yeah, I mean, it's just an LA7, no bombs. And even if he had, like, bombs, I mean, these things are so hard to use, and it's only a single tank he's going to be able to kill. Now, he's getting chased by Dark Jet. Dark Jet's still, you know, kind of ways off the click out, and he's losing speed. Devil doing very well, climbing at the same time, increasing his speed, while Dark Jet is just like lagging behind him. Interesting. Now, looks like he wants to boom and zoom Red Dragon. Where is he? Or is he going to go for Dark Jet? It's hard to say. Well, it's not as important. You know, this is not.
Now look at the push from Arcade here. Nosok Smetane just Zerk rushing the Tunorowski and Tiger here. He does not care. Bouncing everything, did take some hits there, but he just keeps on going into the flag. Oh, and that gets taken out. Sad, sad, sad. That was a hero push, but he did not make it in time.
No, he didn't.
Actually, it was actually kind of stupid, to be honest, because he did not have the support he was hoping for from his teammates. That could have worked.
Razor just took out Nosok there. Good shot.
Oh, Sean, look at this sneaky Peekaboo. He capped the B flag, which means triple cap.
Triple cap for Dynamite. Ooh, ticket's gonna drain fast. Now Nosok Smetani looks like he's gonna have to go for Bravo if he wants to slow down that ticket bleed, and well, this is what he should be doing. But you know, you see, he's kind of stretched there because he needs to provide support for Feudal and Everar. If he doesn't go there, they're gonna get slaughtered. But if he doesn't go to Bravo, that triple cap is just going to drain him real fast. But well, it looks like he decides to go into the town for now.
Now, Arcade's tactic kind of backfired on them, because after all this effort, they are the one who are down one player. And that bad play, honestly, that was a bad play by Lee McLaren, because he pushed too far and he knew that Peekaboo was flanking around. He just pretty much threw his tank away for nothing. And that means that Arcade didn't have to flank it.
Oh,
no, down
Norrish!
Another player down.
Norrish just took out NASA. Quite a range there. Good shot.
This is a long-range snipe. Arcade is getting surrounded now. Look at his positioning by Dynamite. Peekaboo coming from back. Razor still in the town square. Tunrowski in the front. Nervous coming from the side. Jimmy Jazz covering Nervous.
Doomed, man. Look at this. Nervous gonna go in for the kill. Evrar hurt bad. Okay, he fixed this turret finally, and now it's moving properly. Oh! Good job, Evrar. Good job. You see, it's not so easy to kill that guy.
But he got taken out by Jimmy Jazz at the same time. But that fuel tank was very explodey.
Yeah, went kaboom real fast. Now,
wait, did someone say boom?
Because, well, yeah, guys, it's the one and only here with me is Mike Goes Boom. Now, Moltcat, good pass on a Peekaboo. It's not going to change anything, though. Red Dragon, we're still carrying those rockets. But that, I wonder what's going to come first. Are ever RMD dying or Arcade running out of tickets? Oh, look, he's coming in to attack Razor. Oh, that's a direct hit. I hit him right on top of the Commander's cupola there. Good shot by Red Dragon Ward, but this is it. They're going to lose anyway. And, yeah, looks like we are going to Berlin, folks. We are going to Berlin. And it's kind of a comeback for Arcade, this entire match. Because, dig this, Dynamite in overall standings doing much better than Arcade, okay? So, 8 games, 6 wins, and only 2 losses, where Arcade in 8 games and 4 losses at 4 wins. So it's kind of a comeback, actually, you know, facing off against a team with much better results than yourself.
Here's the thing, though. Arcade already lost on Berlin. Dynamite has already shown that they can beat Arcade on Berlin, which means now that we're going to Berlin again, Dynamite actually stands a chance, a very good chance of winning this one, unless Arcade can somehow turn the tactics around. And let's be honest here. Arcade hasn't really demonstrated that they have multiple tactics. They always go for the same thing every time. So if Dynamite can pull off the same thing yet again, as they did in the second match, they are going to win this one.
Yeah, so it's a twofold question. First part is, can Dynamite do the same thing on Berlin they did again and make it a success? And can Arcade adapt to, to the problems they suffered from Dynamite in a previous battle on Berlin? I wonder how that's going to play out. Okay, Berlin, meine liebe Spiele. What's that? Get ready for it's my favorite map, right?
Berlin, meine liebe Spieler. Berlin, my dear players.
Oh, really? Okay, cool. Okay, I'm sorry.
Now, whilst my speaking isn't quite so fluent, I can still understand the language very well.
Yeah.
So in the chat was actually asking me to do a Portuguese comp, but I'm not going to do that. I mean, we have a lot of Germans in the chat, and they all laughed at me because I couldn't speak. But I doubt if we have any Portuguese in the chat right now. Actually, chat, let me ask you. If any of you speak Portuguese, let me know in the chat. I want to see how many Portuguese or even Brazilian people we have here watching right now.
Yeah, I'm very curious. Hey, you know what? Just shout it out. What languages do you guys speak? I know we probably all come from very different backgrounds, very different countries and stuff, and been traveling and living all across the world. A lot of us, I'm sure of it. Now, yeah, let us know what languages do you speak. Fluently, only fluent languages. Okay, so tell us in the chat. I'm very interested to take a look at this. Now, we're about to start in 5 seconds, guys. This is it. This is the tiebreaker, Berlin, where teams fall and teams win. Man, that was actually kind of poetic, don't you think?
Sean is just very inspired today.
No, not really, but I'm trying to come off as such. Okay, so it's the final battle of the second match of tonight. And it's Dynamite of Poland versus Arcade of Russia. And by the way, we're going to be having another match after this one. Is going to be Think of the EU versus Verve of Belarus. And Mike's going to take a break. And Tim's going to come back. Tim, the Orange Doom, the Orange Broom, the Orange Groom.
The Orange Door, the Orange Boom. He even has more accolades than you do, Sean.
Yeah, you're right. The Orange Groom, though, I like this one better. You know, Orange Groom. Kind of, it's like a wedding of fruits and vegetables. I don't know, whatever. Don't listen to me. I'm mentally ill. Okay. So let's take a look at what's going on here. Whoa, Dynamite bringing strong air presence. Devil, LA7 bombs. Tanarovsky, G6 nothing. Jimmy Jazz, G6 rockets, and Nervish, LA7 bombs. On the other side, only pardon me, 3 aircraft. Moldcat, G6 rockets. Oh, Red Dragon Horse, crash that, and no longer exists. Dark Jet, LA7 nothing, and Arcade's Feudal and Ostwind. Ah, interesting. So far, looking much better for Dynamite in the air war above Berlin.
I gotta say, this is exactly the repetition of the first match we had on this map.
Yep, exactly.
Dynamite going strong with the anti-aircraft defense. Oh, Moldcat is on fire! Moldcat is on fire!
Jimmy Jazz gets shut down by Feudal, going down. It's a Jimmy Jazz is no more.
Take out as
Tanarovsky, the last plane of Dynamite, still airborne. Now he's facing off against Dark Jed. G6 versus LA7. Tanarovsky's doing some. Well, he's trying to dogfight him. Actually, trying to turn fight him. Is that a smart thing to do against LA7? Well, whoa, we won't know because he gets shut down by Feudal. So it's a moot point. Now Dark Jed's the only aircraft airborne still, so he's gonna go for the airfield. Probably get some of those bombs up on the ground. Let's take a look. Razor capturing Charlie. Everard and Nasak sitting strong on Alpha. In the middle, McLaren and the Jumbo capturing Bravo. So far, in terms of points, Arcade are gonna come off much stronger than Dynamite.
See, that's interesting. I'm taking a look at the chat here, and we have a lot of nationalities here, actually. This is quite international. We have Germans, Slovaks, Lithuanians, Sweden. We have Brazil, France, Czech Republic, we have Spanish, Vietnamese, Irish, and we have at least one Portuguese. Hey! Olá e muito obrigado por ver este stream. There, that was my Portuguese for today.
That was pretty cool. Most of the Portuguese I listen to comes from chill out music that I enjoy. So. For some odd reason, very popular. You know, you get these Portuguese guys there in the background speaking Portuguese and stuff. So, yeah, kind of funny there.
You have the Brazilian, what's it called, salsa, bossa nova music. That's actually quite relaxing. I really like it. Listening to that.
Interesting. Is this what you listen to when you massacre people in random battles?
Yes, and Mozart symphonies as well. Just the calmest music for the biggest massacres.
Yeah, that's very true. Now, okay, looking at what's going on the ground. Arcade still having strong presence on Alpha. Looks like Bravo's about to get contested. Devil and a T-44 getting some support from Norvish and much of the same. Facing off against Jumbo. Now, Jumbo can actually hold those T-44s back for a while.
He can perfectly be held down here behind this rack of this T-34, which means you can just use that gun and that turret to harass those T-44s.
Yeah, and that 76 cannon is no joke. I mean, well, against the Tiger, not always effective, but against the T-44, hell yeah.
The thing about the 76 is it doesn't do much damage, but it has great penetration.
Yeah.
And the thing about the T-44 is it has absolutely horrible turret armor. So as long as you hit the right spot, you can easily disable the T-44.
That's true. That's very true. Basically, you know, T-44 is like a smaller and better armed Panther. That's what it is, don't you think?
Yeah, bigger gun, bit more mobile.
Yeah, a bit mobile, well, smaller, and, well, you know, very strong frontal armor, poor turret armor. That's all hallmarks of a Panther, to be honest.
Indeed.
So, very, very similar, just, well, superior. in most ways to a Panther, but still. Okay. Now, ooh, we're seeing a lot of Ostwinds from Dynamite, Jimmy Jazz, and Tandarovsky really concerned with that Red Dragon War. Whoa, Red Dragon War is no more.
Here's the thing, Sean. Dynamite sadly lost the air superiority war, and that's the only way they could have won against Arcade here. They did well in the first match by just completely denying the air superiority to Arcade, and that's how they won, but they didn't manage to do so this time around.
Man, check this out. Check this out. Arcade not doing too good in terms of active players, and they're suffering heavy losses, man, and already Dynamite capping Bravo. Looks like this could be a wipeout for Arcade, actually. Very, very soon at that.
It is quite a domino effect, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's the Mike Goes Boom effect. I think we should, trademark this.
The MGB effect.
Yeah, that's right.
Because you're worth it.
MGB effect. That's actually kind of cool. So we're seeing MGB. I like that. Let's do it.
It actually makes sense, actually. You know, the more tanks you lose, the more tanks go boom.
Yeah, that's very true. And then again, I mean, look, we're in prime position.
Sean, you bastard!
What?
Look at the bottom. Look at the names on the screen.
So what? I won again? Seriously?
You won again!
Oh yeah! Woohoo! Yeah, I won. I wonder what I won. Yeah, I gotta relog into the game. Well, I'm sorry.
If you get another vehicle, I'm going to personally go to Russia and slap you.
Please make that an E7. I'm actually kind of curious for an E7.
Yeah,
or Mustang. Mustang is also pretty cool. So yeah. I'm not sure which I won more, but probably E7 right now. Okay. Nosak and Evrar are actually through all this time still alive on Alpha. And Evrar looks like he's gonna risk it all and attempt to seize Bravo from Dynamite, but Dynamite got really good presence there. Norvish and Devil in a ditch. Norvish though doesn't see the danger posed by Evrar just yet.
Here's the thing, so far Dynamite has the advantage. They have more tanks on the ground and they have the flags. At the same time though, they have to watch out. They cannot afford to lose any more tanks. Most of their team has already died once, so the more of them die, the harder it is for them it's going to be for them to take out Arcade. At the same time, Arcade can't afford to lose anyone either. I think one more loss for Arcade and we might see the turnaround here, but it seems like Arcade is pushing back. Arcade is pushing back now. They're going for a C rush, and it seems like they're eliminating Dynamite one by one. Neither team can really afford to lose anything here. It's all going to go down to who is going to get the first kills in the next minute.
Yeah, that's interesting. Now, I wonder if Arcade is going to get wiped out, or if they're going to lose by tickets. Probably they're going to get wiped out. It's hard to say.
Either team is actually going to be wiped out. I mean, we are 8 minutes and 30 seconds into the game. Both teams are on equal footing as it comes to points. I think this is going to be a win by wipeout, but it's all open to which team is going to be.
Well, check this out. I mean, just take a look at this huge wad of tanks by Arcade. McLaren, Moltcat, and Dark Jet all in the same spot. Now, I know Dynamite doesn't really have any bombers to capitalize on this, but, you know... actually, well, maybe you're right. Just look, it's two Ostwinds on Charlie and Camille in a single proper tank there. Yeah, this could go real bad, real fast for Dynamite. Ooh, Camel just shot Dark Jet there, but he bounced this one. Now Camel's about to die. Nope, not just yet. No, that's a bloody duel there. What's going on? It's a mess. Look at this chaos.
Honestly, I'm not sure. This is still all open.
Yeah, total chaos.
Oh, Jimmy Jess and the Ostwind is trying to get at Ilya McLaren now. That's
we've seen Ostwind killing T-25.
Oh no, he got taken out.
Yeah. Tandarovsky now, the only active player of Dynamite around Charlie. Not looking good. Not looking good at all.
I think this might be the turnaround, Sean. This now means that both teams are down 2 players. Both teams have the exact same number of players. But Arcade is getting into C. They are going to put some ticket bleed onto Dynamite. We have 5 minutes left into the game. They might still very well win by points. All that Arcade has to do right now is just stay alive. Just stay alive, hold the flags, and they are going to win. Dynamite has to move, but at the same time they can't risk losing tanks. This is not looking good for Dynamite. They have to figure something fancy out, but at the same time, they can't spawn in any aircraft anymore because their team has already lost all the respawns they have. They can't spawn in aircraft. What they have on the ground right now is all they have.
That's very true. Chat says, I kind of, well, there's a guy hoping I'm gonna get a 40% research booster.
I do so too.
Aw, screw you. I deserve
You already
that
got an
Mustang.
RBT5.
Look, this is only my 3rd win in like what? It's 16 days, man. I've been at it 16 days. Okay, 15. Okay, I was away for 1 day. 15 days. 15 days. Only three times I won. So once every 5 days I win. And I don't have a dog tag. So only 3 times. And the only proper prize I got was an RBT5, you know. Oh, I got a booster. Like, oh no, I got some golden eagles. Yeah, that's it. I got some golden eagles and an RBT5. That's all I got. And I wonder what I got now. Probably another crap.
Actually,
okay.
You know what? That might be interesting for you if you get a Panther T5. TV.
Well, yeah, that
T5.
That could probably, that's the only reason other than a KV2 why I would want to play Soviets, you know. So, yeah, KV2 is kind of cool.
You just liked him big.
That's true.
Now, Dynamite is down another player, and yet another player. There are now only 3 players left on Dynamite's team. Arcade rolling in strong. Now, Dynamite is reversing the cap. They are reversing the cap, so it might just be they just have to hold out. They just have to hold out 2 more minutes. If they survive, they can still win by points, but they are not going to win by elimination here. And it's not going good. It's not going good. Dynamite is falling apart here. Dynamite only has 2 players left. Camelus Q and Peekaboo. Now nobody can hold the B flag, which means Avro is free to go cap B. So Dynamite can't even win by points anymore. It's over. It is over. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm afraid to say that Arcade is going to take this win.
Yeah, entirely possible, actually. Very possible. Highly likely. Most certainly. Okay, Peekaboo. The only asset left for Dynamite in anywhere in town. And on the other side of the town is Camille, just off his home spawn, getting harassed by Dark Jed. Yeah, this is it, man. There's going to be a wipeout.
Oh, but the points are running out.
Points are running out.
Dynamite actually win. Hold on, Dynamite might.
Come on, Ever, can you decap this? Can you decap this in time? Oh my god, oh my god!
2 meters away! 2 meters away!
Oh, 0 tickets! 0 tickets, man! Oh, Dynamite win! Oh my god! Oh my god! Dynamite win by a slimmest margin ever, man! They were, oh lord! That was nuts! Oh. Okay, hey, I unlocked camouflage. Thunder Leak Poltergeist. I got Poltergeist camo. Man, what a game! What a game! My god! They won by points! Having just 2 tanks left, about to get massacred, like ruffle stomped. And they win by points, Mike. What the hell?
That was so close. He was only... If he had been into the cap zone just a second sooner, Arcade would have won that one. That was unfortunate. That was really unfortunate. Sadly, badly calculated by the player from Arcade there. He should have moved sooner. And well, that cost him the game.
My god, that's totally crazy. Oh, totally crazy. So, well, look, are you happy? I got Poltergeist camo. Yeah.
Poltergeist camo is actually quite a nice one. Did you get it for tanks or for aircraft?
I don't know. It didn't tell me. It just told me I got a camo. So
I did it for both then. I think you know, that's actually good for you because the Poltergeist tank camo is for the King Tiger, the Tiger 2, and that's actually quite a nice one.
Really? Oh man, yes, Tiger camos. Whoa, I'm feeling good already. Let me check this out. I'm actually kind of interested. Poltergeist. I mean, yeah, Poltergeist. They got a Fuck Wolf camo. And yeah, and it's a tiger camo. Ooh, green. Very sexy. Oh, very sexy.
Now you can finally play the tiger in jungle.
Yeah. And die. Horribly. And die,
probably so.
Die horribly.
Now, let's take a look at the team listing here.
Yeah, okay, so now let's see the updated standings. I think, well, as long as they're updated, are they? Yeah, Dynamite. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's updated. Let's take a look. So check this out, guys. Now, Dynamite is number 2 on the list. So next battle is going to be Think, right? Think versus Verve. Am I correct?
Yes, indeed. Think versus Verve, the last match of the group stage.
Now, it's either Think or Verve is going to move up to the 3rd place. Well, currently it's Think there, but points-wise, they're identical. So now Think and Verve are going to fight for 3rd place in the group stage of Thunder League. Very interesting. Yeah, that's going to be a battle to see, man.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are already quite a time over. We've had 2 5-match games in a row, which means we are already 1 hour over. But the next match is going to be Think versus Verve. I am finally going to take a break. I'm going to be replaced by the lovely Orange Doom, and Sean is still going to stay with you. So you're going to have an awesome time. Now, don't forget, if you want to win in the giveaways, you have to be logged into Warthunder.pro and be on the streams tab. There are more giveaways coming in during the next match, so stay tuned for that. My name is Marcus Boom, and I'll see you in the playoffs.